Hey, welcome to Cooking with Lace. Today we're going to be cooking butternut squash soup. This recipe's pretty easy.
And it's really good. It tastes like you could eat it. It tastes like soup you would get in a restaurant. It's really delicious.
If you like butternut squash soup, let me show you how to do it. Here's what you'll need. I bought a butternut squash from the store, though you don't have to. It's kind of a pain to peel and chop it, but I do that for freshness and taste. If you do buy a squash, just be careful when you're peeling and chopping because it's kind of hard to do. Squash is mostly peeled, and now we're gonna chop it up into chunks. You can see it has seeds, so we'll be scooping that out. Grabbing a spoon, just scooping out the seeds until it's clean. Chopping up the squash into big chunks. Now we're chopping our onion, and we're just rough chopping everything because it's gonna cook in the onion and then we're gonna blend it up. That's why this recipe is so easy. You just rough chop everything and stick it in the oven. Here's my garlic. And at this point, my eyes are really burning. This is what onions do to me. But just gotta keep going. I basically cried through the rest of this part. Here's my bacon. I'm using 7 pieces of bacon. And I actually could have used 1 or 2 more pieces, but it still was good with this amount. Gonna spread our bacon out over our vegetables. Now we're gonna season with a little bit of sea salt. A little cracked black pepper. And a drizzle of olive oil on the top. Now we're going to stick it in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes. And because the pan is kind of crowded, after about 10 minutes, I'm going to take it out and kind of toss or flip the vegetables and kind of shake it and stick it back in for another 10 minutes. Into the oven at 400. Here are my vegetables at 10 minutes. You can see the bacon is just barely cooked. Here is at 25 minutes. I went ahead and cooked the vegetables for 15 more minutes. And now my squash is super soft. Now we're going to put it in our blender and run it until it's smooth. And I did forget a step here. I didn't add any water to the blender, so as you can see in my pot, it's really thick. I had to end up adding a cup of water. This batch right here is a little bit thinner, so I'm going to add another cup of water to help blend up the vegetables. I added 2 cups of water into the blender to help with blending the vegetables. And so when I go to cook it on the stove, I'll add an additional cup. Here you can tell I need 1 more cup of water at least. So in with the last cup of water, that's 3 cups of water total. And we're going to add our instant bouillon, 3 teaspoons, because we had 3 cups of water. And here we're going to add 1/3 cup of half and half. This is optional. It's good without it, but I just like to add it. Makes it a little bit more creamy. You can see it looks pretty good. We're going to serve some up. And I had some bacon bits in the fridge, and so that's what I'm putting on top, but you could definitely set some bacon aside to add later. And here's our soup. Now it's time to taste it. That is delicious. You should try it. Thanks for watching.
Butternut squash soup.
This is a simple recipe.
Butternut squash soup.